Hey, hey, Cancer. Mel, intuitive coach here. Excited to bring in your July 2025 bonus reading. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Cancer, what is in store for you this month? We are going to look at sacred shifts and divine gifts. I just heard it's my birthday. So if you are celebrating a birthday this month, happy birthday. And if it is you that's celebrating a birthday today, drop it in the comment section. I would love to hear. Look at what we have at the bottom of the deck. This is the turning of the wheel. And it makes sense as we are knee deep in Cancer season. This is a new portal, a new age, a new opportunity opening up for you. And the Wheel of Fortune brings in a destined turning point. This is a renewal of life where some of you may have found yourself repeating a cycle, or you may have felt at times like you were backpedaling, but I feel like you are opening up to a new beginning, and it's actually showing up here in your reading. So this is exciting. Let's dive in and receive messages from your spiritual helpers. You have Mercury showing up. Mercury rules communication, and it says get a weight off your chest. Speak up with love, be heard. So this is the time to communicate, to connect with others, with family, with your friends. You may have something to say, and if you have been holding back or holding your words down, I feel like now is a very important time for you to get something off of your chest, whether it is with that person, whether it is getting it off your chest and putting it down on paper, maybe journaling, or speaking to a therapist, a coach, or a trusted advisor or friend. Communication with your higher self is also showing up here. You may find that your dreams are more active. You may find that your meditations are bringing in more symbology, more messages, because I feel like you're downloading a lot of information at this time, and it can be internal and it can be external. So you may feel overstimulated at times. Be sure to ground your energy, connect with nature, or do the things that bring you back to earth here. You also have the Shekinah, which is all about your sacred self. She is going to connect you with all that is sacred, including yourself here, of course. Unleash your spirit, express your gifts, dance to the sacred rhythm of life. Now, some of you may find stillness through yoga or meditation, but others of you may find stillness through ecstatic dance, right? You may find that energy through being active in some way. So trust that you are being called to express your unique abilities, your creative skills as well. And I also see here that your feelings, your inner voice and feelings are showing up in a way that wants to be untethered. So allow yourself to dance, to play, to create, to laugh, and to have fun. And I see here that some of you could even be updating your home environment. Perhaps this is renovating furniture or replacing furniture here. You could even be getting like new bathroom shower curtains, or you could be getting a new bedspread. I feel like there's something that is changing within your home, and you could have the call to maybe even do a deep clutter, maybe turn on some music and really clean your closets out, or scrub areas of the home that haven't been scrubbed for a while. It feels like you are a bit of a homebody, but then there's this other side of you that is going to let loose, get out there and play, whatever play looks like and feels like for you, Cancer. Now you have here Hilarion. He is the bringer of divine healing. You see that he's cloaked in this emerald green. He has this emerald green crystal energy around his heart chakra. And I feel like you have undergone massive healing, as we're all on this healing journey. And you may have been recovering from something that has been very difficult. Perhaps this was an illness. Perhaps this was a loss of some sort, a betrayal, or some sort of ending that had you going into maybe even a bit of hermit mode in the past. And I feel like you had to take that time out to appreciate your sacred self and your journey. You understand things, Cancer, on a deeper level than most. And it says, honor your sensitivity, retreat to recharge and heal. Your light can support others. So you may have already gone through this experience that has caused you to really look at yourself through a new lens, look at the world through a new lens. And you may now be called to be the teacher, is what I'm getting. You may have the knowledge or the experience to share with others. I'm getting the message, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Now, of course, you could be the student as well, but what you may not realize, or maybe you do, is that you are a teacher inside that is ready to kind of come out, maybe express yourself. And it could be by stepping into new opportunities. Even if it's not full-fledged yet, I feel like it will be in some way, shape, or form. That will be a part of your future, whether it's spiritually being able to teach others, maybe it's teaching in a traditional sense, maybe you're teaching by being the example, being the role model. So divine healing is taking place within you, and you're calling in these spiritual helpers. You may be working with these energies, specifically perhaps the angelic realm, your spirit guides, your loved ones in spirit. And I'm hearing this song, Jolene, by Dolly Parton. So maybe Dolly Parton hits home for some of you, or maybe your name is Jolene. Please take that as it resonates. Now, with this turning point, what does your higher self want you to know? What's the voice telling you? You have the Two of Wands. This is a decision point. It is also about getting focused here, so you can move forward in a way that is truly aligned with your growth, with your evolution, with what it is that you desire and want, because the wands are fire. They're inspirational. They're creative. They're the spiritual force between this physical earthly realm and of course the ethereal realm. And I feel like you have been connecting, right? You have been connecting that bridge, and it feels like there's an idea here, there's a creative endeavor or some sort of spiritual calling that you have been asking the universe for help. And the universe here, including your guides, are saying, okay, we got you, Cancer. Now it's time to get focused, because this is the time to trust that inner compass. You are being given a vision for a reason. And sometimes we sit in stagnation or complacency, or we doubt, or we tend to get stuck in a bit of ambiguity or even indecision here, kind of going back and forth. Like, what do I do? How do I move forward? Pay attention to your dreams, your intuitive downloads. It is time to step outside of your comfort zone. You are not born to settle. Cancer, you are a survivor, not a victim. And I see here that some of you may need to shift your environment in some way. Maybe that's why I'm getting a change up in the home, because it feels like there's an environmental shift that may be coming for you that will be very beneficial. And I see that within the next, I want to say 4 to 6 weeks, you will have clarity around what to focus on, whatever area that you feel a bit foggy, feel a bit cloudy. This is about you stepping through this portal, stepping through the threshold, crossing the bridge, if you will. So what is the block? What is the blind spot? Whether this is ego, whether it's external noise, it can be self-doubt. You have the Magician here. You may feel like your manifestations aren't taking place in the time frame that you would like. And that can lead us to frustration. It can lead us to pulling back on our energy, on our focus. We tend to redirect our focus here if something is taking too long. And I see here that Spirit is saying, stay consistent, keep your vision, hold that vision here, because you have some big magic working behind the scenes on your behalf here. And the Magician is showing up because you are meant to share your superpower with the world. Try not to get frustrated by that self-doubt, because now is the time to step out. Now is the time to be seen, to be heard, to be valued, to make choices that are healthy, choices that are aligned with your highest good, to remember that you are the alchemist. You are the creator of your life, and something may be mirrored back to you at this time or reflected back to you. Another message I'm getting here with the Magician is, don't let external manipulation or even manipulation of the mind, because we have communication here. Now, the Magician is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is showing up here as get a weight off your chest. So this could be the block. There may be something you're not speaking up about. There may be something that, you don't feel heard, you don't feel valued or accepted in some way. That may be why there is an environmental change for some of you coming in, but this can also be going where your worth is valued, going where you are honored. But I see first and foremost you being proud of you, being proud of how far you've come on this journey of yours. So what is the mirror? How is this being reflected in your life? You have here karma. All right, karma is showing up as temperance in this energy, patience. Okay, there's the patience here. That may be that divine timing. And I see that you've gone through karmic lessons, as we all will and we all have. And the temperance can be bringing our energies back into balance. Instead of feeling like we've gone to extremes, maybe to protect ourself in some way, we can allow those defense mechanisms to become so overprotective that it limits us, that it holds us back from moving forward. So you are being asked here, remember, when the student is ready, the teacher appears, to step into some form of leadership, to step up out of the weight of something that has been holding you back. And when the temperance shows up, I feel like you're being asked to find balance in all areas of your life. A balanced lifestyle is good for the mind, good for the body, good for the spirit. So whatever area of your life, I feel like this is going to help you in all areas, even the ones that you feel are doing good at this time. It's only going to amplify in a good way, staying on top of your health. I'm getting some of you have struggled with some health issues, whether this is physical, emotional, or mental, maybe a combination of many. Some of you may have felt like your sacred self wasn't being honored in some way. And I feel like you're taking some much needed TLC. Maybe you're getting a massage this month. Perhaps you are spoiling yourself. Now, of course, that can be a form of self-care, but another form of self-care that we often neglect or we fail to remember is doing the work, doing the work to heal, the hard self-care. And not that it is excruciating or painful, on a physical sense. Some of it can be, especially if you're going through physical therapy, right? You're trying to recover from maybe a surgery, or you're trying to learn how to walk again, or you have really crumbled in some way. It is taking time to recover and relearn. Maybe some of you are relearning how to open yourself up again to life, how to Maybe eat healthy foods that are conducive to feeling better and your growth. So I feel like there's a balance here of treating yourself and then, of course, staying diligent, sticking to some of your goals that you have for yourself, like staying focused here. Now, the mirror, again, that is being reflected in this temperance is, are you healthy? You can't expect to be healthy and go to the gym, but yet you're eating all kinds of cookies and cream and smoking and, doing all the things that are unhealthy, but yet, it feels like there's a balance here that you're trying to maintain, but it feels like there's a need to focus here on the bigger picture instead of like weighing things out here. I hope that makes sense. So yes, you may be going to the gym to try to work off those cookies and cream, but if you don't have that balanced mindset as well, you may revert or default back into old patterns. So it feels like you're taking a holistic approach, or that's the message here, is to take a holistic approach on your life and simplify or become healthy or speak up, ask for what you want, communicate your needs. So what is the shift? What needs to be released? You have here the Two of Cups. Some of you still feel a rejection, or you're still feeling maybe the pain of a separation, and you may have closed off to love in some way. Maybe this is self-love. Perhaps this is love for others. It feels like you have that capacity without a doubt. You absolutely do. You have a big, beautiful heart that wants to love. But when we've gone through situations that have hurt us, the mind tries to protect us, right? The soothing mechanisms that we've used in the past automatically get thrown up when we come near the opportunity to love again. And I feel like you are being asked to challenge that because you have a new energy that wants to make itself visible in your life. I don't feel like you are stuck. I don't feel like you don't have a choice here. Some of you may feel like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place because you actually have the Two of Wands, the Two of Cups, which can be choices. It can be that you're reflecting on a partnership in your life. And the shift here is, do I allow love in? Do I allow myself to freedom? Do I allow this exchange to happen? And that's what's really aligning here for you, is something may be released from your life in a way that actually makes room for something beautiful to come in, because the gift is through an ending, through some sort of rock bottom or betrayal that you've gone through. I see that you have actually watered something new. You've already started to water a new beginning. You see that the tears from the grief, the tears that have fell in the past, have started growing this beautiful red flower. It's red, orange, and yellow, which are the colors of the lower three chakras. Your root, also known as the base chakra, your sacral, and your solar plexus, which is about your safety, security, and stability. Your relationships, pleasure, creativity, and sensuality, as well as your power, right? Enlightenment and your belonging in the world. And I see here that you're finding your sacred self again. That's what Shekinah is reminding you. You are being asked to express your gifts. That's why the Magician is showing up. Share your grief in some way. Help others through what you've gone through. That is your superpower. You've gone through something that maybe many people have not, or you have gone through an experience that will shape your life in a way that, you'll never be the same as you were prior to this experience. But I feel like you're not meant to be. You've grown, you have matured, you have spiritually ascended. And now you get to open yourself up to a higher love. And that's what is being integrated into your life. This is your outcome here. This is the grounded action, the mindset to carry forward. You have the Ace of Cups. This is free flow. Instead of resistance, instead of back and forth, relationship dynamics, partnerships, or patterns that are constantly feeling, imbalance in some sort, in some degree. Not that you're never going to have an argument, right? It doesn't mean that there's never going to be, a sore spot to deal with. But the ways in which you handle it will forever be changed. You will be able to open yourself up in ways that you never thought possible. The Ace of Cups is showing up here as a gift, as all aces are. Cancer, this is a new love connection. Whether it is falling in love with yourself again, can be a soul quenching renewal. It can be emotional fulfillment, curiosity, positivity, hope, self-love, and emotional balance. And it comes after a period of deep grief. Maybe this is something you've went through 10 years ago, but you've been recovering. Perhaps you've been dealing with some of the repercussion of a fallout. Maybe this is something that happened 10 months ago. Whatever it is for you, Cancer, the timeline of healing is going to be different for everyone. So try not to get caught up in, I should have done this sooner, or why did this take so long? Because we do get stuck in that loop of divine timing versus our ego timing. And it's important to understand you have released yourself from something that has been a cycle, maybe generational cycle. Maybe it's been difficult for you to break out of, and it's taken a while. That's the gift. You finally get to recover. All right, you finally get to recover. And like I said, you are not in denial. You're not a victim of a circumstance, right? You are a warrior of something that had occurred. And I see that you can help a lot of people. You have this magic about you. You are showing up here as the magician, even though it may be a blind spot at this time. This is Gemini Virgo energy. Now, Virgo season begins in August. So August and September, you might start to see a lot more momentum, a lot more movement towards this Ace of Cups. Now, even though this is a July reading, I feel like this shift, this change that is occurring is within you, where you wake up one morning and you're starting to see the world differently. You're starting to see yourself differently. There's a smile that shows up on your face. This is the turn of a new cycle for you. And you realize that the pain is lighter. It may still be present from time to time, especially if this was a loss that, has left such an imprint in your energetic field. But it feels like you are lighter. It feels like this change is destined and it's meant for you. All right, that is what I have for you, Cancer. If you enjoyed the reading, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you haven't already. And again, happy birthday to those of you sun sign Cancerians out there. Lots of love.